زۆر سپاسی بەڕێز سەرۆک وەزیران کاک نێچیروان بارزانی بکەم کە هەمیشە پاڵپشتمان بووە و پاڵپشتی ئەو ئێڤێنتەش بەڕێز دیانە زۆر سپاسی دەکەین لێرە و زۆر سپاسی ئامادەبوونتان دەکەین داوا دەکەین لە کاک فەلەح مستەفا کە بفەرموێت بۆ ئێرە بۆ پێشکەشکردنی وتەیەک زۆر سپاس هیوای کاتێکی خۆش.
Good afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased and privileged to be here with you today. TEDx Nishtiman Women is a message from the people of Kurdistan, from the young generation to the outside world. I'm pleased to see bridges being built. We are no longer isolated. Thanks Kagrawand and your colleagues, the volunteers around Kurdistan who have been working day and night to make this event a success. I believe in your power, I believe in your energy, and I'm sure you will be able to lead Kurdistan to a prosperous future. As a nation, we have suffered a lot. We've been recently punished collectively, just for a simple fact that we asked for our rights. The people of Kurdistan deserve much more than what we have. And I'm sure the future will be ours. But I'm pleased to see all these young men and women, girls and women who are working, who want to show and demonstrate to the outside world that the people of Kurdistan are not less than other people around the world. We have also successful people. We have people who have been trying hard. We have people who have overcome challenges from the family, from the community, from the state, but they were able to achieve success in their field. This is an event, but I'm sure there will be many more events like this to show the people around the world that Kurdistan wants to live in peace, tolerance, and in prosperity. Thank you, Kangrawand. Thank you for all the volunteers who have been working with you, and I'm pleased and privileged to have this opportunity to attend the event. Thank you.
We would like to thank Mr. Falah Mustafa and Mr. Rawand Hussein for their wonderful speech.
زۆر سپاسی بەڕێز کاک ڕەوەند حوسێین و کاک فەلاح مستەفا دەکەین بۆ وتارەکەیان.
Unfortunately, as we all know, because of the flight ban on Kurdistan, due to the Iraqi government suspicion, Naujin Mustafa, who is one of our speakers and currently living in Germany, could not be here and present her speech at TEDx Nishtiman Women.
ئێستا شانی باسە ئاماژە بکەین بەوەی کە یەکێک لەو خانمە بە ئەزمونانەی کە بڕیار بوو ئەمڕۆ بێتە سەر ستەیج و بۆمان بدوێت بەڕێزیان نەوژین مستەفا لە ئەڵمانیاوە نەیتوانی بگەڕێتەوە بەشدار بێت لەگەڵمان بەهۆی گەمارۆدانی ئاسمانی هەرێمی کوردستان و لەلایەن حکوومەتی ناوەندی عێراقەوە.
Now it's time to welcome our first speaker on stage, a successful and experienced young lady who is the winner of a golden medal at American Congress today. Will share her experience and success with us. With your applause, Payam Shwani.
ئێستاش کاتی بانگێشکردنی یەکەم وتاربێژمانە بۆ سەر ستەیج. گەنجێکی لێهاتوو بە ئەزمون کە خاوەنی مەدالیای زێڕینی کۆنگرێسی ئەمریکایە و ئەمڕۆ لێرە لەبارەی ئەزمون و سەرکەوتنەکانی ژیانیەوە بۆمان دەدوێت. پەیام شوانی تکایە بە گەرمی پێشوازی لێ بکەن.
So all of you should have a piece of paper. If you don't have it, just raise your hand and one of the volunteers will give it to you. There are two questions on this piece of paper. I want you to think about it. Don't start answering it now, but think as I go through my speech. What would it take to change our world? To make this? What would it take to change our communities? And in changing our communities, we're changing this world one little step at a time. My name is Pam Shani, and I'm here today to empower you all, whether you are young, old, women or men, to get out into your communities and to start volunteering, to start giving services for a good cause. Whenever my friends or my family come to me and they tell me they are lost, unsure of what they're doing, what kind of occupation they should have, what they should study in college, I tell them one very important thing that worked for me. And that is, start by doing community service, because you'll be able to find your occupation, your dream job. It wasn't a long time ago when I was in the same place. I felt lost, unsure of what I was doing. Everything in my life was different. I was a new girl in a new country with a whole new world around me. And fortunately, one day one of my most amazing professors approached me, and she told me, we have this program for the highly academic students in our school. She said, through this program, we'll do volunteering activities, leadership activities, personal development activities. And even though I had a very, very busy life, I said yes. I decided to do it. Because every morning I woke up from 5 o'clock and I wouldn't get home until 9 or 10 at night. I was working, I was taking full-time college courses while still in high school. And on top of all that, I had just decided to volunteer. I worked because I knew it was very difficult for my father to afford 5 kids when he was only doing a part-time job. He was also studying at a university for his PhD in engineering that was 2 hours away from us. So I only got to see my father on the weekends. My mom, she was also very busy. She was studying in college. She had to take care of responsibility for 5 kids while my dad was away. And I thought, maybe if I did these, I could put off a little pressure off of my father's shoulders, off of my mom's shoulders. Every morning, I woke up and I took the bus or the train to get to my destination so that I wouldn't have to bother my parents with that as well. And you see, when we do these things, they all started to add up for me. My volunteering activities, my highly academics in high school and in college. By the time I graduated from high school, I had already done 2 years of my college. And I also graduated earlier than my peers. And all these things, they started to add up, and I was able to gain my gold medal from Washington, D.C. Congress building. Thank you. That wasn't the only thing that I received. I received my silver, my bronze, many other certificates for my achievement from one of the senators in my state. You see, the person you'll be in 5 years is all based on the activities you do today. What kind of books you read today? What kind of videos do you watch today? What do you do in your daily life? It all depends on the person you'll be in 5 years. So if you don't like it, change it right now, because now is the time to change it. So that in 5 years, when you look back on what you've done, you'll be proud of it. You won't regret how you spend your time. You'll be proud of all your achievements. People tell me I'm lucky to be where I am. They tell me you were lucky to get the gold medal. You were lucky to be successful. But that's not true. It wasn't luck. They got it all backwards. If it was luck, I wouldn't have had so many sleepless nights. If it was luck, I wouldn't have failed on my face so many times. I wouldn't have been on the verge of giving up. It was through perseverance. Perseverance is the key to success. And don't stop with success. Go for greatness. Because that's what will make you different from the people around you. Now let me get back to my volunteering activities. I first started volunteering at a hospital because I've always wanted to see the environment. I've always wanted to know how it felt to work there. So I volunteered at the acute care unit, and in this unit, we had patients who've just had surgeries. So they were in a very difficult time of their lives, very vulnerable. And every day, I went into all the patients' rooms, and I knocked on every door, and I talked to my patients as a friend. I wouldn't go in to ask many endless health questions. I wouldn't go in to poke them with a needle as a doctor or as a nurse would do. But it was my job to be their friend. It was my job to give them hope that they will get through these hard situations. For example, one day, there was a patient she had a very difficult disease she was diagnosed with, and she forgot everything. Like, she forgot how to write, how to read. She forgot all the basic necessities that we learn in elementary school. And it only took her a year to learn all these things back. She learned how to write, how to read, all the math skills that she lost. And she was able to go to college from one of my classes in chemistry. And she was the most amazing person ever. And I decided, if she went through all these hardships and she was able to do it, why can't I do it? Why can't everybody else do it? It's all in our hands. Even though I was very busy every time because of school, because of work, every morning I woke up with a smile on my face because I was so excited to go volunteering. I was so excited to go, and by the time I went there, I would be so engrossed in what I was doing that I would never realize how 4 hours, how 3 hours would pass by. Because I was so engrossed in my activities. And by the time I had to leave, I would be reluctant to leave. Because I just needed 5 more minutes with the people. Now you might ask yourself, why should I volunteer? Why should I give up my precious time, my energy for this cause? And if you're not convinced, I'll give you 2 points that will for sure convince you. Number 1, through volunteering, you'll be able to realize that you will get way more than you give. You will gain leadership skills, personal development skills. You'll be more self-efficient, more self-confident, and all these talents will start to show in you. And when you apply for a job, when you decide to go to a different occupation, you will be the better candidate than someone who hasn't had these experiences. Number 2, through volunteering, you'll have a better community. There's many research done on this topic, all of them on volunteering, and they lead to one single conclusion, one single result. What is that? It's that you'll have a better community, a community where there's less crime, less violence, where students perform better on their exams. Overall, a happier, safer community for you, for your children. Next. Now I want you all to imagine at the back of your mind what it would feel like if you put a smile on a little child's face. Imagine how that would feel, what it would feel like if you receive a thank you from someone who's in the hardest, most difficult time of their lives. Just imagining this gives me chills. Now imagine what would happen if you got this feeling for real. if you receive this feeling in real life, with real experiences, with real people, not from the media, not from the newspaper, but you actually got it for real. And believe me, it's way better than imagination. Now, the papers that I gave you, there are 2 questions on it. Please look at it now and think about how much free time do you have in a week? What kind of activities do you do? You see, there are 168 hours in one single week. That's a lot of hours if you think about it. If you sleep 8 hours a day, that's 52 hours. And if you work full-time job, let's say a full-time job is usually 40 hours, and the most anyone would work, it's 70. So if you add all these up, you still have 42 hours extra, even with a full-time job. I'm not telling you to use all your 42 hours for volunteering. I'm just telling you, use 2 hours of it, 3 hours of it, to make this place better. Guys. And now you might be convinced, and you tell me, I don't know what kind of volunteering activities I should do. I don't know what's out there in my community. You see, today is the time where Kurdistan needs the most volunteers. Because it was only about a week ago when many people had to flee their homes. They became homeless, and right now, they're on the streets. It's our job, our responsibility to make these people, help them at the hardest time of their life. You can start by forming a group and plant trees in your neighborhood. Start by volunteering at a preschool. Start there, but little pieces at a time, so that we can make our next generation of kids successful in the life they have ahead of them. You see this world? It's very small. There are people out there with the same age as me, with the same ambition, with the same life goals, with the same dreams, but they are not able to follow their dreams. They are not able to follow their occupation because they have to worry about if they're going to have enough food for the day. They have to worry about if they're going to have somewhere to sleep at night. I was born with these blessings. They weren't. I was born with warm food, with a loving family, with shelter every day. And if I know with my blessings I can help them have a better place, so that when they go, they can follow their dreams and make our world better. This world doesn't revolve around me. It doesn't revolve around you. But it revolves around all of us as a whole. We are all part of it. Part of a community, part of a country, part of a nation. And if you grasp this in your mind, think about it a little bit. If you grasp it, you will realize that these people are our responsibility, because we are all like a big family, billions of people, all like a big family, and this world is like a big house where we live in it. Thank you.
زۆر سپاس بۆ خاتوو پامشوانی. دەمانەوێت زۆر سپاسی ئەو کەسانە بکەین کە سپۆنسەری ئیڤێنتی تێدێکس نیشتیمان ومێنیان کردووە. ئەوانیش تۆڕی گەنجانی نیشتیمان، کۆڕک تیلیکۆم، فامیلی مۆڵ، بابیلۆن، ڕووداو، ستیفانۆ، RA Production، ئەدیابین، Design Out of Box، House of Waffle، O'Hare.
Thank you so much to Ms. Payam Shwani. In addition, we would like to thank our sponsors, starting with Nishtiman Youth Network, Family Mall, Korek, Babylon, Stefano, RA Production, Abad Bin, Rudao, House of Waffle, and Design Outbox.
ئافرەتێکی ئازا و قارەمان، خانمێکی مەرد و بەجەرگ، هەڵگری خەڵاتی هیوای جیهان کە تەنها 6 کەس لە جیهاندا ئەو خەڵاتیان بەدەستێناوە. داواتان لێ دەکەین بە گەرمی پێشوازی بکەن لە خاتو کۆچەر ساڵح.
A brave woman who was one of the 6 candidates around the world that could win Global Hope Prize. Kocher Saleh, let us welcome her on stage.
دمي وباش اس کوچر صالح شانازی و دبیج مخو پشمرگه لولات ایران دربدریه جدایک بومه دیری هم بیزا ولات خو جبنمالکا کرد پرور شورجگر همی پشمرگه جوی بنمال مزم بیمه پشمرگاتی کارکی آسان نیه به همان شوش محالش نیه چون که پشمرگه یعنی برخدان خوگوری کرن جام فیدا دمی از بوی پشمرگه لسال 2011 مشیا لقکی آفرتان دام زرینین وکو پشمرگه بشوی که رسمی وی دمی گلک اب زحمت بو حتی مشیای وی قناعتی و وی چنده بو خلکی درست بکن و بشن وی کاری انجام بدین لیپا هر دوی دمی دامه کارت کر جبو مافی مرووی و چسباندنا یاسا و یکسانیه دمی ما بوم روایتی کار دکر از پشمرگه بوم هاتنا رکخرا و تیرورستیا داعش دمی دا چن اوان کسا آزاد کن یل جبن ظلموان لچیای شنگاره لوی دمی پشمرگه بوم دجمنی بگلا او کس گلا باران دکرن لیپا ما بگل چیچک هم بیز دکرن گلک یا گرن که ام بوم روایتیه بجین کار بکن جبو مروایتیه جبو یکسانیه ده همان دم دا زور آستنگ بومه چه بینم تایبت کمالگه هامه دمی مدگود از دیبم سرباس یان پشمرگه یان لشکر وی دمی زور کس هبی بمد گرکنی دگود تو کچ چه آده جلی سربازی لبرخواکی چوادی بیا پشمرگی دیگل ظلام آدا شول کی لیپا مل بملا برای خواه مشیا سرکفتنیت هر امازن تومار کن گلک یا گرنگ بیوی روژه کو ام دین دیار کرین کو ام کچ دشین سرکوین چه آستن کبن چه پیگری چه هر تشتکی هبید لیپا ما آرمان جگ جیا هی ما دوزگا هی دوید ام سرب کبین دمی ام دچوین بو سنگری بروانیه زور جارا دابینین آواره ایتین باشه که جا کرد وگاوه حاضره بچید سنگی خوب ده گل دجمنی و اوی کسی روید مالا خوهلای همه چتکی خواب جهشتی و یتید بو برف آرامیه وگاوه که چی آماده سنگی خوب ده گلا دجمنی و بچید در باز کرد رزگار کرد بله میزباد کرد کچید کرد سنگی خود دا گل دجمنی چو بروانی دکر و او کس آزاد و برزگار و دینانه بجهت آرام دا هر ده اف ساله دا لمها نه 16 نه لروجا 18 نه لولات امریکا هاتمه هلبجارتن ایک قهرمان جهان خلات رسلینان بما هاتدان وکو قهرمان کا جهانی کو شیای کار کری جبو نهیلانا تیروری و تنتروی و شر کرن دجی رک خراوا داعشه لوی دمی شانازی اکامازم بی لوی ریمتشیا بجموان کسایی آستنگ بوما چید کرن اوه کچه اوه آفرته او کشیال سر مستوای جهان بیت خلات کرن وکو قهرمانک کجا کرد تایبت شیانت همی کارکی تای نه بس سربازیان لشکری دشت همی بوارکی دا سر بکوید چالاک بید چونکی ما اثبات کر بو همی دنیای کو ام دشین سر کوین ام دشین بیش نهوا ننون نمینن راستایی مگلک خونت هی دا ام خونت خواه بجه بینین هر دمه کو از بوی پیشمرگه و پاشی هاتم ورگرتن لکولیجا لشکری بشیوکی اکادمیانه هاتین پرورده کرن بو ماوی ساله که پاشی تمام بونا من دکار من کلیجه و خاندنا من دا یک سر زوریم بو بروکن شری و بروانی کرن جبو مروایتیه وی دمیم بس آخا کردستانه نبو کو از بیجم ده دفاعی جکم وی روژی من حضر دکرده بو همی جهانه کار کم ضروریه مروایتی لسر هر تشتک دکوید 14 ماه 8 2016 لوپراسیون خازر و گویر لگوند سطح بوماوی زیده تری 30 خولکا دگل چند برادرین خو کچو کر دهنا محاصره کرن دور پیچ کرن زیده تری 30 خولکا لوی دمی دو تشت دوید تو بحل بجیری دو تشتایت هی ایک جین یا دی مرن لیپا ما مرن هل بجارت مرن ایوی گاوی گلک تشتی را دیار دبین دو دی مری دا هنده کسی دی آزاد بجین سرفراز بجین لورا من وی گاوی مرن هل بجارت هر دهمان دم دا مف سرکفتیانه شیان برف پیش بچین سرکفتن اتمازن تومار کین از دلویری بجم هر بجیت مروایتی بجیت آشتی بجیت هین و زور سپاس
Thank you, Ms. Kocher Saleh, for that wonderful speech. And now we'll have a performance by our young Kurdish female performer, Shamshirwan, who will perform her song Royals.
زۆر سپاس بۆ کۆچەرخان ئێستاش کیژۆڵێک دێتە سەر ستەیج کە بە هونەر و نەغمە و سۆزی دەنگە بە سۆزەکەی چەند ساتێک ئارامیمان پێدەبەخشێت داواتانێ دەکەین بە گەرمی پێشوازی بکەن لە خات و شەم
I've never seen a diamond in the flesh. I cut my teeth on a wedding rings in the movies, and I'm not proud of my dress. In a torn up town, no postcode envy, but every song's like gold teeth, gray goose, tripping in the bathroom, bloodstains, ball gowns, trash in the hotel room. We don't care. We're driving Cadillacs in our dreams. love affair, and we'll never be royals. This isn't an run. The kind of luck just ain't for us. We're craving different kind of buzz. Let me be your ruler. You can call me Queen Bee, and baby I'll rule. Let me live that fantasy. My friends and I, we cracked the code. We count our dollars on the train to the party, and everyone who knows us knows that we're fine with this. We didn't come for money, but every song's like gold teeth, gray goose, tripping in the bathroom, bloodstains, ball gowns, stretching no terror. We don't care. We're drowning Cadillacs in our dreams, and everybody's like crystal, Maybach, diamonds on your timepiece, jet planes, islands, tigers on a gold leash. We don't care. We aren't caught up in your love affair, and we'll never be royals. This isn't our love. The kind of love just ain't for us. We're craving different kind of buzz. Let me be your ruler. You can call me Queen Bee, and baby I'll rule. Let me live that fantasy. Oh, you're bigger than we ever dreamed, and I'm in love with being queen. Life is not without care, and you're caught up in your love affair, and we'll never be royals. This is our love blood. The kind of love just ain't for us. We're craving different kind of buzz. Let me be your ruler. You can call me Queen Bee, and baby I'll rule. Let me live that fantasy. Thank you so much.
Good job. Thank you, Shem, for that wonderful performance.
زۆر سپاسی خاتوشەمەکەی چالاکوان و داکۆکیکەری مافی ئافرەتان هاودامەزرێنەری ڕێکخراوی تایبەت بە سەقامگیری و ئاشتی خاتو تەنیا خەیلانی بەخێر هاتنی بکەن.
Activist and defender of women's rights, who is a co-founder of a foundation and supporting the spreading of peace. Let's welcome Tanya Khailani.
Hello, everybody. It's actually Tanya Gili Kailani. I'm very proud of what my father taught me as well, not just my husband. So, my story begins when I was 12 years old. We had come back to Iraq for a visit with family, and during that visit, an uncle of mine passed away. So, as it is customary in Kurdish fashion, they lined the whole family up in a minibus, and we had to go from Kirkuk to Erbil for my uncle's funeral. As we were on this journey, what happened, I started seeing villages that were in rubble. And I was surprised because they seemed like fairly good villages. Some of the ones that were close to the street, but even the ones that were further. And I started seeing village after village after village that was destroyed. Now, like every Kurdish person, my story is not unique. We all have suffered. I have had family members that were killed. I've had family members that were tortured, some that were put in prison, some had to flee the country in order to save their lives. But seeing those destroyed villages took my pain and my feeling of injustice to a different level. Because I knew, like every Kurdish person does, the backbone of Kurdish society, the vitality of our society comes from our villages. And when those are destroyed, it means that the whole community is going to be destroyed. It was at that moment that I knew my fight for human rights must start. My fight for intolerance, eradicating intolerance, must start. So I started going to rallies, and I started going to hunger strikes, and I started participating in marches. I started, one of the pictures, you see me with my hunger strike with my father, and the other one is at a rally. So we started making signs. I remember making a sign as a child that said, "I want to live, it is my right," with a picture of a Kurdish child next to it. These are the kinds of things that you don't forget. And unfortunately, these atrocities kept on coming and coming. We had the Halabja massacre, we had the mass graves, the Anfal campaign continued, and to this day, our community and our society still suffers. So I started going to more rallies. I started participating in more marches. I started organizing some of those marches. And I started grabbing the megaphone and leading the slogans. But then people started taking notice. Not because I was doing a good job. It was because I was a young woman doing a good job. And that's when I started hearing comments, I started hearing insinuations. I'm sure every single Kurdish woman hears in her life. And actually not just Kurdish women, everybody in all societies hear these kinds of comments and insinuations. And that's when I realized there's another battle that I must fight. There's another battle that I must take on. And that was a much more difficult one, because it was a battle that I was fighting against my comrades at cause. It was against the people that I'm working with so closely, so that we shared a vision to bring peace and tolerance to our region. But this is when I realized again that it's very important for us that we as women must participate in building the peace, fighting for peace, and waging the peace, and not just waiting for it to happen. So if you want to make change, if you want to make real positive change, everybody must be involved in that change. When we say women building peace, there are three components to this. The first one being why it matters, what we do, and how we do it. So if we talk about why it matters, we must realize that we live in a neighborhood that is quite tough. Unfortunately, war is the norm and peace is the deviant in this region. So what do we do? According to the 2017 Global Peace Index, Iraq actually was ranked 161st country on that list of least peaceful countries, followed by Syria and Afghanistan, or I think it was Afghanistan and Syria. The MENA region, or the Middle East and North Africa region, for the 5th consecutive year, they are still considered the least peaceful region in all of the world. Studies have shown that the economic impact of violence on global economy was $14.3 trillion in 2016 alone. So in order for us to have lasting peace and to prevent all these atrocities that are happening, I believe, and studies have shown also, that all components of society must participate in building that peace. And when we keep on hearing all the time, they tell us women are 50% of society and they're the mothers of the other 50%. Well, then where's our place at the table? How come we're not at 50% sitting at the negotiations table? One of my favorite quotes that I keep on reading every once in a while, every time I feel down, or every time I feel that I'm really, the fight is not going the way I want it to go, is this great quote by Mandela, when he says, "Freedom cannot be achieved unless the women have been emancipated from all forms of oppression. What does that mean? There is oppression from within our communities, from within ourselves, from within our societies. We must fight all of those. And since we are the main caretakers of our families, everyone suffers when we are oppressed. Our priorities as women tend to be different. We actually feel and experience war and peace differently than the way men do. The way we think about what we want, what our vision is very different from the way men do. For example, did you know that actually peace treaties where women are actually signatories or they've participated, there's a 24% chance higher that they would actually last longer than if women were not participating? And again, we say that, where are the women? So, if we look at these numbers here, unfortunately, even though women have been participating or have been trying to lobby for more participation in the peace building process, only 2% of chief mediators in peace negotiations are women. 4% of signatories are women, and only 9% of all negotiators are women. Again, where is that 50%? What we do. Women tend to work differently. Studies have shown that we tend to be more inclusive whenever we are working on projects, whenever we have an idea that we want to share, that we want to spread. We always try and find common ground. We always try and build bridges and try and meet each other in the middle. It's not about scoring a goal against the other side. For us, it's about finding a common ground where everybody's a winner and there are no losers. Our priorities as mothers, as daughters, as wives, as partners are very different. For example, as a mother, when there is a war, for me it's important that my child still continues to go to school, and he is safe when he goes to school, and he comes home safe. However, the men tend to think about how we can win more territory, how we can win more in terms of numbers, in terms of killings, unfortunately. So that's why it's very important to realize that these differences really make the peace process between men and women, make the peace process a lot more lasting and much better. So how we do it? By getting creative. I just want to talk about some examples of in the near future. Now, women being involved in the political process, women being involved in the peace building process is nothing new. It's actually, we have some examples here from Kurdistan. For example, during the 1990s, when there was the civil war, the women marched from Sulaimaniya all the way to Erbil, and they had a sit-in at parliament. Now, unfortunately, they did not stop the war, but they definitely pushed for a ceasefire to be implemented. And we actually have some live examples sitting with us here in this room today, and I'm very proud that we have them here. I also want to talk about the sex strike in 2003 in Liberia. In Liberia, a country at war, the Muslim and Christian women came together and they started the White T-shirt campaign, where they decided that they wanted to stop the war, and they said enough for the violence. They stopped having sex with their partners, and they said, we will not be with you unless you stop the war. And this continued on, again, until they pushed for a ceasefire, and then they pushed the different sides to actually sit at the negotiations tables. But they were smart about it. What did the women do? They didn't just stop at them going and sitting at the negotiations tables. 200 women came together and they barricaded the meeting room, not allowing anybody to leave until they actually come to agreement. Some men actually tried to jump out of the window, but the women threatened them that they were actually going to strip off their clothes and go naked and let the media take pictures. So they were forced to go back in, and they actually were able to come out with an agreement. I also want to talk about another example that I was actually I'm very proud and honored to be a part of, and that's the Ashti Women's Group that was formed in 2011 here in Kurdistan. A group of us Kurdish women came together, actually Kurdistani women, not just Kurdish women, but from all different factions as well. We came from different political backgrounds, different ideologies, different even ways of life, but we shed all of this because we shared one common goal, and that goal was peace in Kurdistan. We decided that it was very important that we have to go and talk to the different factions that are fighting together, because we knew that they're sitting with each other, they're listening, but they're not hearing each other. What did we do? We actually met with all the different factions that were involved in the unrest in 2011. We took all their projects, all their proposals, and we sat down in a couple of days at a friend's office, and we compiled them together. There were only 3 points of contention, 3. And the men kept on saying, oh, we cannot sit because there's a 40-point project here, 16-point project there, but it was 3. And then when we told them this, we were actually able to get the men to sit at the table and start negotiating. Now, unfortunately, we did not get a seat at the table, but nevertheless, it's important that we tried for the peace and we were able to maintain the peace in Kurdistan. So, how we should all do it? The way I can tell you from my experience, and I'm going to be very quick here, it's very important if you have a vision, if you have an idea, to start small. You start at home, you start within your community, you start within your school, you start within your family, and then you try and sell that idea. And then you get buy-in from everybody from your community. Just because we are fighting for women's rights or women's participation, it doesn't mean that it's only our job to do so. Everybody must actually participate in it, whether they're men, women, children, old, young, everybody must participate. Because as Hillary Clinton says, women's rights are human rights. And of course, it's very important that you actually utilize all the tools that are in front of you, whether it's the media, the social media, whether it's group meetings, whether it's actually doing lobbying with your local officials, whether it's meeting your elected officials. These are all tools that you can utilize to try and push your vision and to try and push your want. And of course, there are international mechanisms to promote the participation of women in peace building. Let's not forget those. It's very important that we actually, it's a very good lobbying tool, and we can actually hold our government accountable if they do not allow for women to participate. In closing, ladies and gentlemen, let's go out and wage the peace. Thank you.
For that wonderful motivational speech.
زۆر سپاسی تانیاخان دەکەین بۆ وتە جوانەکانی.
Without caring about gender differences, a man becomes an activist and defends women's rights. With his publishing, with your applauses, warmly welcome Shwan Kamal to the stage.
پێمان خۆشە زۆر سپاسی کەناڵی ڕووداو بکەین بۆ سپۆنسەری میدیایی ئیڤێنتی TEDx Nishtiman و من. بەبێ گوێدانە هیچ لایەنگرێکی ڕەگەزی پیاوێک دەبێتە چالاکوان و داکۆکیکەری مافی ئافرەتان و پرسی ژنان بۆ بەدەستێنان و پاراستنی مافی ژنان دەنووسێت و تێدەکۆشێت. شوان کەمال با بفەرمێت.
ئێوارە باش سڵاوتان لێ بێ پیاوان و ئافرەتان، سڵاو لە هەموو لایەکتان. بەڕێزان من ئەمڕۆ بابەتێکم هەیە تایبەتە بە پرسی ژنان. ئەمە لێرۆ من بیرۆکەیەکمە بوو پەیامێکمە بۆ گەر هەتا ئێستا هەتا ئیدی پیاوان ڕێگر بوون لە بەردەم ژنان یا لە بەردەم بەشداری پێکردنان. من ئەمێ لێرۆ وەرچەرخانێ بکەم ئیدی ئێمەی پیاوان بەشدار دەبین لە پرسەکانی ئێوەدا. بابەتەکەی من سەرەتا سپاس. سەرەتا بە تایتەڵەکە بەشداری پێکردنیان بەشداریکردنی ئافرەتانە لە ئەنجومەنە هەڵبژێراوەکانی هەرێمی کوردستاندا. هەڵبەتە و بەشداریکردن لەگەڵ بەشداری پێکردن جیاوازە. بەڕێزان ئێمە لە ساڵی 1992 خاوەنی پەرلەمانی کوردستانین. بەشداری ژنان لە ئاستێکی نزمدا بووە هەتا ساڵی 2005. لە ساڵی 2009 ڕێژەیەکی سەدی دیاری دەگرێ بۆ ئافرەتانی کوردستان کە لە سەداسی ئافرەتانی کوردستان لە ناو ئەنجومەنە هەڵبژێراوەکانە بەشداریان کردووە. ئەو بیرۆکۆی من ئەوە بوو کە دوای دەیەک دەبێ ئەم پرسیارە دروست بێ، دەبێ ئافرەتان ئەم پرسیارە بکەن. هەڵبەتەوە من ناڵم دەبێ ئەوان بیکەن، دەبێ ئێمەی پیاوانیش لەگەڵیانە بکەین. هەمیشە وتراوە دەبێ ئافرەت واکە. ئەم جارە من پێم وایە ئێمەی پیاوان لەگەڵ تا دێین ئەم ڕێژەیە جاریش کە دەبێ پیاداچوونەوەی پیا بکرێ بەم ڕێژەیەدا. لەبەر ئەوەی من پێم وایە هیچ کەسێک ناتوانێت ئەم ڕێژەیە دیاریکە ئەگەر ئافرەت خۆی نەبێ. ئەو بێ ئەو پرسیارگە ئەو هۆکارە چییە کە لە سەداسی بۆ ئافرەت دیاری دەکرێت بۆ ئەو ڕێژەیە دیاری کراوە. دەبێ ئافرەتان لە بەشداربوونەوە بگەنە ناو پێگەکانی سەرکردە بوون، لە هەموو شوێنێکدا سەرکردە بن، واتە نەک ڕازی نەبن بۆی کە بەشدار بن، دەبێ بگەن بە پێگەی سەرکردە بوون. بەشداری پێکردن سەرەتا واتە هێنانی ئافرەتە بۆ ناو ئەو دامەزراوەیە، نەک ئەوەی خۆی بەشداری بکات. خۆی بەشداریکردن جیایە. ئێمە ئامانجێکمان هەیە، ئامانجەکەمان هەیە دەبێت جارێککە بە ناو ئەو یاسایانە بڕۆینەوە ئامانجمانەیە کە چارەسەر بۆ شێواز و بەشداریکردنی ئافرەدان جاریچکە بکرێتەوە. ئەمە ئامانجی ئەو نووسینەی منە. من ئەو پەیپەرەکە ئامادەم کردووە، بیرۆکەیەکی خۆم بوو لەگەڵ چەند خانمە پەرلەمانتارێکی بەڕێز و چەند چالاکوانێکی بەڕێز لە شاری سلێمانی. هیوادارم ئەم ئامانجەی من بگاتە جێ. لێرەوە ئێمە ئەو وەرچارخانە بکەین لە کار و چالێکەکانەوە. سەرەتا ئەمە دەبێت پێکەوە دەستکەین بەم گۆڕینە. ئێمەی پیاوان دەبێت لەگەڵ ئافرەتاندا دەستکەین بەم گۆڕینە. هیوادارم ئەم گۆڕینە لە ئێستا بەدواوە دەست پێ بکە. لەو پەیپەرەی منە کە ئێستا یەک مەقالەم لێ دیاری کردووە، دوو ڕێگە چارەم داناوە بۆ ئەم کێشەیە. ڕێگە چارەی یەکەمیان بەشداریکردنی ژنانە لە ڕێژەوە بە ڕێگای زیادکردنی ڕێژەی سەدی بۆ ئافرەتان. ئەم ڕێژەیە ئەگەر هەر ڕازی بین کێشەکە لە چەندایەتیە بێ، من پێم باشە ئێمەی پیاوان هاوکاری ئێوەی ئافرەتان بین، ئەلە لەقەڵەم ئەم زیادکردنە بگەڕینەوە بۆ نیوە. ئەگەر کێشە لە چەند چۆنایەتیشایە، باشترین ڕێگە چارەکە من ئەمەم هەڵبژاردووە، پێویستە ئافرەتان لیستێکی سەربەخۆیان هەبێ، یاخود بە شێوازێکی سەربەخۆ بەشدار بن. ئەم بیرۆکەیان کە لیستی سەربەخۆیە ویکپۆینتێکی هەیە. ڕەنگە لە ئەوەڵجارە ئەمە ڕیسکێک بێ، هەرچەند ڕیسک بۆ کاریخرا، بەس ڕیسکێکی باشە بێت. ئەو گرنتی کە پێشتر کرا ڕەنگە دای بەزێنێ، ڕەنگە کەمی کاتەوە، بەڵام لایانی پۆزەتیڤی زۆر باشتری هەیە. ئەگەر ئافرەتان توانیان بە لیستی سەربەخۆ یاخود بە سەربەخۆ بچنەوانەوە، لەو قاڵب و ئەجێندایانە دێنە دەرەوە کە هەندێک جار بەهۆی کە لە ئەجەندایەکی دیاریکراوە نەیتوانێت دیفاع لە مافی خۆی بکە بە تەواوەتی. دووەمیان ئەگەر لیستێکی سەربەخۆمانە بێ، وا لە پیاوان دەکەین دەنگی پێبا بە ئافرەتان، کە ئەمە خاڵێکی زۆر پۆزەتیفە لە ناوخۆ هەم لە ڕووی دەرەوەشدا، کە ئێمە پیاوانمان وا لێ کرد ئافرەتان هەڵبژێرە بۆ ناو دامەزراوەکان. خاڵێکی کەشیانەیە ئافرەتان لە ناو لیستی سەربەخۆیە تایبەتمەندیەکی خۆیان هەیە، دەتوانن بە شێوازێکی جوانتر، بە شێوازێکی باشتر کارەکانیان بکەن. ئەمە لایەنە ئەرێنیەکەی بووم. وەکو وتمان لایەنێکی نەرێنیشیە کە ڕەنگە هیوادارم وانە بێت ئەو لایەنەی کە وتمان ڕێژەکە دادەڕەزە. من هیوادارم وانە بێ. من لێرەوە من وەکو پیاوێک داوا لە هەموو پیاوانەکان ئیشکەین لەسەر ئەو کارە بە هاوکاری ئێوەی ئافرەتان. بەڕێزان، من پەیامێکم هەیە لە دوا راپۆرتی یەکێتی پەرلەمانتارانی عێراقا داتایەک، ئەو داتانەی من کۆم کردبەوە، وڵاتی ڕوەندا لە تۆپدایە، یەکەم وڵاتە کە ڕێژەی بەشداری ئافرەتان لە ناو پەرلەمانی وڵاتە نیوەشی تێپەڕانەوە، واتە لە کۆی 80 کورسی ئافرەتان 51 کورسیان هێناوە. 63.7 کورسیەکانیان دەژگە. ئەمە ئێمە لە هەرێمی کوردستان من ئێستا بەدووە پێم باشە لە هەموو کارە مەدەنیەکان ئێمە خاڵی پۆزتیڤ بین بە دنیای دەرەوە کە ئێمە میلەتێکین دەمانەیە خاڵە پۆزتیڤەکانمان زیادکەین لە ناو زیادکردنی ڕێژەی ئافرەتیش بۆ ئێمەی کورد لێرەدا خاڵێکی زۆر پۆزتیڤە بدێ هیوادارم ئەمە خەون نەبێ لە ئایندەیە ببینمەوە ئافرەتانی ئێمە لە ناو دامەزراوەکاندا ئەگەر ئێمە بوشین بەدەوڵەت ئینشەڵا لیستی تۆپ بینەوە ئەو خاڵە بۆ خۆمان مسۆگەرکەین لە ناو پەرلەمانتارانی جیهاندا زۆر سپاستانەکەم.
Thank you very much, Mr. Shwan Kamal, for your speech. Again, we would want to thank our sponsors for making this amazing event happen, starting with Nishtiman Youth Network, Rudao Media Network, Family Mall, Korak, Babylon, Stefano Rudao, House of Waffle, RA Production, Design Outbox.
زۆر سپاس بۆ کاک شوان کەمال. ئێستاش میوزیک ژەنی بەتوانە نەوژین خالید پارچەیەک میوزیکمان پێشکەش دەکات با بفەرمێ.
And now would like to welcome Naujin performing Titanic with his violin. A round of applause for him. now, Jean, for that wonderful performance. And now we'll have a 1-hour break and live session.
زۆر سپاسی نەوژین دەکەین بۆ ئەو ژەنینە جوانەی میوانە بەڕێزەکان ئێستاش برێکمان هەیە بۆ ماوەی یەک کاتژ بێت و لە هەمان کاتدا ڤیدیۆی تێدمان هەیە بە لایف دەتوانن یاخود بچنە دەرەوانێ بۆ برێکەکە یاخود لەناو هۆڵدا بمێننەوە بۆ بینینی ڤیدیۆکە و پێشمان خۆشە دووبارە زۆر سپاسی سپۆنسەرەکانمان بکەین کە ئەوانیش کۆڕەک تیلیکۆم تۆڕی گەنجانی نیشتیمان ڕوودا و بابیلۆن ئەدیابین RA Production, O'Hare, Design Outbox, House of Waffle, Stefano, Family Mall.
We would like to thank our sponsors again: Nishtiman Youth Network, Rudao Media, Korek, Babylon, Stefano, Family Mall, RA Production, House of Waffle, and Design Outbox. Now the live session will be on the screen, and if anybody wants to go have a break, it's a 1-hour break. Thank you.
Tosh.